Okay, before we get into what you do, can you tell me about your childhood?
Yeah, grew up in Detroit, on the west side of Detroit. I'm the 12th born of 14 kids to my mom and my dad. 7 boys, 7 girls, and it was a fun childhood. You know what I mean? My dad was a working class guy working on the assembly line, and my mom was a stay-at-home mom. Lots of music. We sang all the time. You know what I mean? Grew up in church, and so we were the choir and the musicians, and so I had a really, really fun childhood.
Okay, that is beautiful.
Yeah.
And your journey, like at one point you spent the time being homeless?
Yeah,
How did that happen?
So, as great as my childhood was, the music stopped in our house when my mom died suddenly and unexpectedly, and it was my dad and the 14 of us, and so, he couldn't keep track of all of us, and so when I was 16, I was being a knucklehead and dropped out of high school, you know what I mean, and then my dad had this 18 and out rule. So once you turn 18, you go to the military, you get married, start your own family, or you go to college. And so I didn't do any of those things. So my dad said, you got to get the heck up out of here. And so at 18, I went on my own, wasn't prepared for independent living, which led to, 2 evictions and then the couch surfing and at times living with stuff out of my car. And so, that it was a really traumatic sort of like experience. And then when you're going through it, you think it's just like survival.
Right.
We didn't have language then oh, I'm experiencing homelessness, right? It was just I'm doing what I got to do to kind of get through life.
Yes, it was your life journey.
Yeah.
Definitely. So when did you decide to go back to get your education?
I was 23. I was kind of applying for this one job, and it was this really pivotal moment. I was applying for a job, and from 16 until 23, it's on every job application, did you graduate high school? Sure did. You know what I mean? I was just lying, right? And then I was a job I really wanted, and they called me back and said, hey, we want to offer you the job. You did a good job in the interview, but we can't verify your high school diploma. And I was like, yep, I'm caught. And that was the moment when the lights came on for me, I need to do something different. So I enrolled at my community college through the Adult Education Center and finished my high school equivalency. And
that
so
is amazing.
went from there, community college to my bachelor's degree, my master's degree, I finished up my doctorate degree.
No.
And so
Yes.
I honestly don't know where I'd be if education hadn't rescued me. You know what I mean? And so I went on to sort of stay in higher ed, working in student housing and residence life so I can kind of prepare folks for success, both in the classroom and outside of it. So
that is amazing.
Thank you.
You're soaring. Tell us about Los Angeles Women Board.
Los Angeles Women Board, man, I founded this organization that is focused on ending college student and youth homelessness and hunger, right? 1 in 5 youth in LA who are in college are experiencing homelessness. 2/3 are getting through college trying to figure out, well, I don't have enough money for breakfast and dinner, or so I'm only going to eat lunch because that's all I can afford today, right? And so you can't focus on being a scholar when you are dealing with your stomach growling, right? And so we serve a wide, variety of students, folks who are current and former foster youth, folks who are formerly incarcerated, immigrant youth, overrepresentation of LGBTQIA plus youth, because when they tell their truths to their families, sometimes families say, you can't live here.
Right.
And so, that's what we're doing. And not just providing a cot for people to folks stay on, we try to provide spaces that feel like you have dignity, that feel inspirational and aspirational. So it's the mental health and wellness, the 3 meals a day that are prepared by our chefs, job readiness and career development, tutoring and academic coaching. So we want to set them up for success in their lives before they leave our spaces.
You're doing just that. How does it feel that you're now in a position to be able to make that difference for others?
It's kind of a wild kind of thing. When you experience something like homelessness, right? You try to push those experiences to the dark recesses of your mind and your heart. And it's been kind of a full circle moment to sort of go through that and try to hide that pain.
Right.
And watch God turn it into purpose,
yes.
right? And now I get a chance to sort of provide hope and opportunity to folks who were in my same experience, in my same shoes, right? And so it's been a wonderful, wonderful gift from God, for sure.
Turn your pain into purpose.
Come on, let's go.
We all want to know, how can we help? How can we get involved? What do we need to do?
Well, a year and a half ago, it was just me at the Opportunity House. I was living there, being the cook, the case manager, writing grants, wearing every hat. And we've expanded now to 4 locations across LA. And I now have 18 full-time staff, 190 beds, a culinary team that provides 3 meals a day, fresh meals that we cook, and we use the ingredients that are grown in our garden. And so our costs have gone up. So we now have an operating budget of $5 million, right? And so if folks want to sort of partner with me, if you believe that no student should have to sort of like sacrifice or choose between where am I going to sleep and can I finish this college degree, then I'd invite you to sort of donate. You know, like you can find us on our website, you know, follow us on Instagram and see the work that we're doing so you see where your funds and your resources are being put to good use. And so, and then also volunteer. You know, we love, anytime I can sort of like get folks who do incredible things in front of our youth, because you can't be what you can't see. And so the more that we, you know what I mean? And so the more that we can kind of get folks who have incredible journeys through college or career in front of our youth, then it gives them something to aspire to, right? And so, but we definitely need to raise that $5 million. Yes. It's our first time having to raise money at that level. A year and a half ago, I just raised $500,000. And so this is a monumental task. That's right.
Get to that $5 million.
Let's go.
I believe you.
Yes, yes.
I believe you.
If you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe to the Jennifer Hudson Show YouTube channel. Check your local listings or visit jenniferhudsonshow.com to see when you can watch full episodes in your area. And don't forget to sign up for the newsletter.